kid was young, inexperienced. It made it easier for me to take his gun and turn it on him.
No, look. Look, right?
Hi,
Thank you for thank you for the interview opportunity.
not a problem. I was just going to welcome everybody back, and I appreciate everybody tuning in for Barry Lemon Productions. We're here with Joel Keller, and we just wanted to kind of have a conversation with him. He recently played his film to the death at Snake Alley Film Festival this past weekend. Not only that, I believe that film has also been picked up for the Toronto International Nollywood Film Festival. So congratulations on that as well, Joel.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
No problem. It seems like you've done a lot in such a short period of time and have come a long way as a filmmaker. I remember watching some of your old footage on YouTube. I know that you tend to post every now and then for those biters that want to see that, you know. But I did want to kind of go over some of the projects that you have, you know, completed, and that includes some music videos in 2024. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Please just get away from me and do not ever come back here. I don't know if I could take it. It feels like a knife in my chest. I thought we already made amends, but I messed up and now you're gone. I never asked to get hurt again. The memories we made, they fade away, but you're the one thing I can't erase. It's over now, I don't wanna lose you, but now I'm lost without you. I'm broken, I'm choking on words I can't convey. You were special, I can't stand this pain. I'm left with nothing, just your name, but it's too late. And now you're gone. I remember those days when we laughed and shared. Now, you are the one thing that I don't wanna forget. I pushed you away, now I'm all alone. The silence, it cuts right to the bone. It's over now, I don't wanna lose you, but now I'm lost without you. I'm broken, I'm choking on words I can't convey. You were special, I can't stand this pain. I'm left with nothing, just your name, but it's too late. And now you're gone. I don't know how to move on. With you, a part of me is gone. If I could turn back time, I'd take it back if I only could. I don't wanna lose you, but now I'm lost without you. I'm broken, I'm choking on words I can't convey. You were special, I can't stand this pain. I'm left with nothing, just your name, but it's too late. And now you're gone. It's over now. It's over now.
I believe the artist is Adriana Balu. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Adriana Ballou, but
Balu.
very close. Yeah, she's an old friend from college, and she asked me if I could help her with a couple music videos in the past. Uh, Both of them I had fun working on and editing them because I ended up both I ended up both shooting and editing them. It was really fun just filming them with an iPhone and then throwing them like onto my computer and editing them. But sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Like, was there a specific one you wanted to talk about?
No, it's actually there's two different videos that I think you've worked on. You've worked on a video called Gone, and then I believe another one was called Letting You Go, if that is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So I believe Letting You Go was the first one that I did.
How can I forget you when we say goodbye? Thinking you were the one. I've been living a lie. I see you found someone, it breaks my heart. I don't know how to move on. You're tearing me apart. You're just a boy, and I'm just a girl who had it all, now lost it all. How could you leave me here alone? You're hurting me. I tried so hard to give my all, but now there's nothing left at all. You stole my heart, then tore it apart. So now I'm letting you go. Your words begin to mean nothing. I feel like you've lied to me. Dead wrong to trust you. Now I don't know what to do. I see you found someone, it breaks my heart. I don't know how to move on. You're tearing me apart. You're just a boy, and I'm just a girl who had it all, now lost it all. How could you leave me here alone? You're hurting me. I tried so hard to give my all, but now there's nothing left at all. You stole my heart, then tore it apart. So now I'm letting you go. I'm not the one to blame. I don't deserve this pain. You're tearing me apart. You're just a boy, and I'm just a girl who had it all, now lost it all. How could you leave me here alone? You're hurting me. I tried so hard to give my all, but now there's nothing left at all. You stole my heart, then tore it apart. So now I'm letting you go. I'm letting you go.
And that one, personally, I kind of like that one more. That's just my personal preference, but that one's mostly because of how I edited it. Where um, you ever seen those movies where like the background is black and white, but the subject, as in like the person or an object, is like completely in color?
Most definitely. The first film that comes to mind is Sin City.
Yep.
So they did a really great job, Robert Rodriguez. So my real name is Jeffrey Rodriguez, and I own Buried Lemon Productions. I own a few companies though, and I also have a subsidiary of Broken Chair Improv. But I'm also a filmmaker. So typically filmmakers are cinephiles, which I'm sure you are, Joel. I know there's a lot of inspiration from various backgrounds. I know horror's right up your alley, and you
Guilty
enjoy
as
Jason
charged.
and you, yeah, I mean, I think we all are, honestly. But there wasn't anything in particular that I wanted to ask. I just wanted to know about kind of like your experience and what's something you've learned from shooting music videos.
Um, Really, I guess there wasn't exactly anything specific that I learned for music videos specifically, aside from like just syncing up the person singing to the lyrics of the video itself. Because the way that we shot it was Adriana played like the lyrics video, and then she sang over it, and it took us about an hour or so of shooting. So then once that was over, I downloaded the lyric video, and then I synced it up with all the different pieces of video that we had shot. And I guess that's the closest to like multicam filmmaking that I got on those two projects.
Fair. Fair. I kind of want to switch subjects, and we touched base a little bit about this, the horror. So where does your horror inspiration come from? Because I know that there's a few on your platter. We have like Halloween inspired films. We also have like I believe Jason. There was Jason. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a few that I've done based on Halloween. One of which I did based on Jason. I actually did meet a lot of the Jason actors a year ago, and the main one, Kane Hodder, I got to speak with him, and one of the things I asked him was like if there's any advice to play as Jason, because like I mean if you've met me in real life, I'm like 5'5", and Jason's supposed to be like 6 feet. And the first thing Kane told me was that height doesn't matter, thankfully. And another thing he told me was basically like just kind of act natural. Like if you're trying too hard to like scare somebody, like it's gonna just come off as silly. Which yeah, I can see that. I mean, I used to act in I used to do this like scare acting a couple years back for one of those haunted houses, and yeah, I'll admit like I've tried a little too hard a few times, and like teenagers just aren't scared of stuff anymore.
Well, they have access to the internet. They've been conditioned to not be afraid of those things.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed in my personal life, when I have come across something that is really traumatic or something like a wound or something, your brain has a funny way of trying to make it not real so
Mhm.
that you can try to kind of compensate for what's going on. There's other inspirations that you also have, right? Because I know that you also have some kind of inspired, like maybe zombie-like or undead, because that's right up my alley. I enjoy zombies very much so. I don't know about you.
So I don't know if you're meaning I don't know if you're meaning this exactly, but there was one that I made called that was based on like the Evil Dead franchise, because another one of my inspirations is Sam Raimi. Um, that one,
Another horror icon.
yeah, exactly, another horror icon. That one mostly stemmed from the fact that like uh, I got this copy of the Necronomicon off of Amazon. And a lot of the cameras that I have are like really old vintage retro stuff that still run on tapes. So I basically wanted to basically make a version of The Ring, but with Evil Dead thrown in. Is it on? Is it on? Okay. So I just made a great discovery. I think I just found a book called the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Now, according to ancient history, it was lost in, I believe it was called Castle Kandar, like way back in the 14th century, 1300 AD. The appearance isn't exactly how I kind of thought it would look. Like, I thought it would be thicker, and I thought, I believed that the original text or research would describe this book as being like bound in human flesh and inked in blood. However, it's still a great find. Uh, I'm a little bit surprised that I found it at the back of a bookstore, to be honest. It kind of makes me wonder if this is even the real deal or whatever. But like, this is the only copy that I could get my hands on. Like, all the other ones like are just fakes or like obviously um, just like crappy homemade ones. But this one, I actually found this one. Now, I was able to jot down some of the passages that I did find, and well, we'll see where that leads us. Okay. Swallow your soul, swallow your soul, I swallow your soul, I swallow your soul. Swallow your soul, swallow your soul. Dead by dawn, dead by dawn, dead by dawn. And honestly, that the effects that I did with that, where it made it look like I was like coming out of a television set, that's honestly one of my favorite short films and one of my favorite effects that I've done so far.
So when you think about creating that, because that's got to tickle your brain a little bit, the fun that you had, and then understanding what you were able to make it into. Have you ever thought about taking that same concept and introducing it into particularly a new film for yourself?
Um,
Maybe not the
yeah,
same thing, but a version of it.
yeah, kind of. Maybe not zombie in particular, but I have thought about like I have had ideas for some feature films, some short films every now and then. There is one that I have where I mean it takes a lot of inspiration off of like Jason Voorhees, except like it's basically like a hockey player goalie that just goes insane and starts killing members of his of the opposing team. And I got that inspiration because someone close to me actually gave me this hockey stick not too long ago, and I thought like, this would make a cool like horror movie weapon, like just uh just where a guy just beheads another dude with a stick,
Like
or
it's a sickle.
yes, exactly, or he like makes this slap shot with a puck, and the puck just gets embedded in a dude's face. And then of course there's the ice skates using to slash somebody. Can't forget those.
Oh no, no, you can't. Well, I know that you've done a lot of different inspired themes from horror, and that's why I was like, oh, it's really cool because I know that, like I stated before, To the Death went to Snake Alley Film Festival, it showed, and then you also have it coming up soon for the Toronto one.
Where am I?
You were dead. You got hit by that car.
And you're...
Yes. I'm supposed to take you beyond here. Now, are you ready to go?
No. I'm not ready to die.
I'm sorry. But you don't have a choice. Not up for debate. You must submit!
No. I'm not dying today.
Is there any other festivals that you may have introduced that film or submitted that film to?
Um, there's a couple that I've submitted it to, but there's quite a few times where like it just didn't get selected. So I guess for lack of a better kind of term, I'm trying to be more selective in where I'm sending it to. Because I mean, it's kind of become an itch you gotta scratch where you just start sending it to festivals, and like because of the fees, they just burn a hole in your pocket.
Most definitely. Film Freeway will kind of do that because it's like, whoa, there's so many festivals. And then I've had that same issue too, where you want to be selective on what you're trying to go for because it doesn't make sense for any of those new filmmakers out there who are following Joel and his progress to like greatness. Um, you want to make sure that if you're like filming something horror, you're going to submit it to something horror. And what I've noticed too is just because you fit in that genre or
Mm.
that category. Um, there's a lot of people who also fit into that category who may have certain skills or a certain team. You know what I mean? They have a certain advantage, but don't let that discourage anybody because honestly, we all come from somewhere. And just to know that there's because what I've noticed, Joel, is the people that we run with in our social circles for filmmaking, we kind of bump into each other every so often at different either festivals or different location scouts, all of the above. So what is one of the great thing about networking that you've noticed with your journeys thus far?
Um, I mean, I guess just the networking itself, where you just meet a bunch of different people that you wouldn't have met before. I mean, going back to someone I know, like I was talking with her just the other day, and one of her old college professors turns out he's a very big fan of horror movies, and there's a few people that I work with that they know people who are really into filmmaking. So just stuff like that, like not even related to film festivals. Like there's always gonna be like somebody who knows somebody else who knows someone else who knows somebody else that you want to meet because they have the same interests as you, and that's really just the beauty of networking.
What I hear you saying is the beauty in networking is locating like-minded individuals
Yes,
that
yeah,
share maybe similar passions. Because like you said, horror, and that's an extensive genre because like I'm under the impression that you also do different things like Saw. I think you've done something that's Saw related. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did. So I made this short film that was that was inspired by the Saw franchise, where where basically like I was pulling out my teeth in order to escape a trap.
Hello, John. For years, you have torn your family and friends apart through your drug addiction, particularly to methamphetamine. Your addiction led you to lie, cheat, and steal on multiple occasions, causing everyone who cared for you to be pushed away. Consider this your rehabilitation. On the other side of this bathroom is a sink and mirror with pliers waiting. You will need to pry out 4 of your teeth to reveal the lock combination and escape this room. Or else in 2 minutes, a deadly gas will fill your lungs. Death by suffocation is quite painful. You'll find instructions on which teeth to pull right next to the pliers. And to keep you from calling for help, your vocal cords have been surgically removed. Live or die, make your choice. Game over.
Ironically, the inspiration wasn't the films itself. Uh, at the around the same time that I shot that, I was actually getting 2 of my teeth pulled. Well, actually, no. Yeah, no, it was 2 of my. I had to get 2 of my teeth pulled because I had cavities at the far back of my rows, and it was at the far back where the dentists themselves said that like there wasn't anything I could have done, like so it wasn't my fault, thankfully, that I had cavities there. But when I got to the surgeons, um they told me that because they were so far back, there were a couple teeth that had like grown around it, so they ended up taking out 4 teeth. All of it was on local anesthetic, so I was technically conscious the whole time.
Well,
And
they say life imitates art and art
yeah,
imitates life. So nothing like having that same kind of, balance in your personal life, also with your creativity.
yeah,
What I've noticed is a lot of our inspirations is the individuals around us and kind of what we're going through. Um, it's really great because it provides a relatable concept for our viewers, you know? So like maybe losing someone really close to us that can hit on a different emotional level than somebody who's never really lost anybody. They can't empathize with that. So what I've seen with some of your films is that you're able to see the empathy whether or not it is a slasher. You know what I mean? You can identify with those hedonistic and inhumane portions of being human and having this human experience, you know?
yeah.
Um, well, I know that you've done other stuff too, which is funny because you put something that typically doesn't go together.
Red Bull gives you wings.
These are commercials, that we'd laugh about, but the Klondike bar, can you talk a little bit more? Like what would you do for a Klondike bar?
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yeah, so I'm growing up, I used to always see these like what would you do for a Klondike bar commercials like back when I was like 5 or 6. I honestly don't know if they still have those playing nowadays.
Oh, you
But
can definitely find it on YouTube for sure.
oh yeah, YouTube for sure. But like these days on actual like cable TV, I haven't seen them in a while. But anyway, so this was back when I was still like in my Halloween craze where I was like doing a bunch of different Halloween shorts. Like I did that one called Halloween Snowed In about the Mike Myers like killing people using winter themed stuff during Blizzard.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was getting on the theme of, you had different like inspirations from different providers. You had
Right.
one scary, it was Saw, and then you had another one that was Jason, and then you had another one that was the Evil Dead, you know what I mean? Then you had
Yeah.
Halloween. So you have a ton of inspiration coming from this specific genre. Which is great because people, like people like me, I mean, I go to sleep watching horror. I mean, that's my background music. That's my radio. If I'm doing paperwork, whatever the case may be, if I'm doing research, you know what I mean? It's definitely playing in the background, which is great because when I'm able to go through YouTube and see some of your older stuff, it's awesome to watch what you've become, you know?
Yeah. Thank you.
It's cold out here.
Yeah, but the hotels are making a fortune out here. Thanks for shoveling my lawn, by the way.
Yeah, don't mention it. We got a lot of snow.
Yeah, it's really low out here. Didn't think we'd ever get snow in October.
To be fair, we got a lot of snow last October. Do you think he'll come back?
Ooh,
Michael Myers.
doubt that. It's too cold out. Yeah, I know he comes back every Halloween, but I mean, it's sub-zero temperatures out here, man. Like, he's either dead right now or freezing to death as we speak. Ah! Oh shit!
No, 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 no!
So real quick, going back to what we were talking about with the whole Michael Myers thing. Uh, so yeah, like this was back when I was still doing the whole like snowed in short film. I also did like a recreation of the opening scene of the very first film where Michael kills his sister Judith, and that was mostly because like I mean, if you've seen my work, like I love first person perspectives, but not for the killer. And personally, like this is the hill I'll die on. Like I don't really get scared if like you're seeing through like Michael or Jason's eyes. Like to me, it's much more scary if you're actually like looking through the eyes of the victim when like they're getting chopped up. So for that one, I went out and I basically like shot it like basically in a traditional horror movie format.
My parents aren't going to be back until 10.
Are you sure we're all alone?
Well, Michael's around here somewhere. Take that thing off.
I gotta go.
Will you call tomorrow?
Yeah.
Promise?
Mm-hmm.
Michael, what are you doing in here? Michael!
Michael?
I remember when I was growing up, that was one of the first films that allowed the viewer to be in the format of the murderer or the protagonist. So,
Yeah.
or And it's just really weird. It's just really weird because it gives a whole different feel to the audience. You know what I mean? It's like you've watched television. Oh yeah, well now here's color television. You know what I mean?
No,
It's really
I get what you mean. Yeah. No, I get that. Like to each their own, but like I said, I just didn't like that format, and maybe that's just how I grew up. Because I mean, at this point, I've played through like video games where it's in the first person perspective. Like, I don't know if you're ever a fan of the Resident Evil franchise, but my personal favorite was Biohazard, the seventh game, as well as Village. Like, I even did like a short teaser proof of concept based on RE7 where I used the same basement that I used for the Saw film.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with reusing a location. I mean, that's
Oh,
why I keep a stack when I location scout. I also take digital footage, so that I can always defer back to it if I'm like, oh, do I think that will fit in here, or do you think we can pull that off? So no, I totally get where you're coming from for that aspect. Um, but I know that you were talking about uh, being able to use the location over and over. Has there been any other locations that you've kind of repurposed or reutilized or maybe dressed up and shot again?
uh, well, aside from what I already mentioned, I mean, I guess going back to the Jason short film that I did. So technically, at the time, I didn't actually have a script, or at least not a full one. So the way that I wanted to make this one special, especially because like this was coming up on at that time the next Friday the 13th in the calendar, I decided to take the script and shoot it four different times using four different cameras. one of which was my iPhone. Another was a 4K camera, and then the other two were cameras that still use like film tapes. And for I believe at least three of the different variations, I used the same forest location.
No, 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 no.
Luckily for me, I got a good friend who's willing to put up with me on this kind of stuff. And she was the one who actually suggested the forest. And I liked it so much I ended up using it like three more times.
That's what I'm saying is that networking, you know what I mean? You find a sweet spot or a honey spot or a honey hole and you just kind of you keep tapping it because it's never going to go away, you know, unless something happens. But what that's what I always do is I always think about when I go to scout locations is if I'm going to be able to repurpose or reutilize this location in the future.
Right.
Um, so with your entries to the film festivals and you being on a hot streak right now, is there any other new projects that you're working on or any other things that you have kind of floating around in that skull?
So there are a couple. I already mentioned the goalie short film that I want to do. That one's kind of on the back burner because like I don't even have a script for it. Like literally the only thing I have off of it is like the hockey stick prop and possibly one of my hockey masks that I have left over from a Jason thing. Going back to like just reusing old locations, but also reusing like old costumes, props, repurposing them. Yeah,
Well, I'll be
repurposing.
honest, the first thing that comes to my mind is, we're talking about life imitating art and art imitating life. What you could do is you can start off with the concept of, okay, this person is a fanatic for Jason. They have all these different, things, and then Jason comes to claim his original stuff.
That's true. I could.
I mean, that's just one idea.
Well, yeah. So I kind of played around like 50-50 on if I want it to be completely original or if I want it to be where like basically Jason Voorhees dropped off at an ice rink and he just goes ham. Because
Well, I mean, you could always shoot that in you know in the extras at the same time and just
oh
have fun
yeah,
with it, you know what I mean?
true. Another idea that I wanted to do was basically like a prequel to the entire Friday 13th franchise, where you know you've heard the history of Friday 13th, right? Why it's so
Yes.
superstitious, like because all the Templars were rounded up and tortured and killed until they eventually like renounced their ways. So I had this idea where because like some of those Templars were accused of like being involved in witchcraft, one of them, upon his death, he swore that he would come back, and then like 6 or so years later, on like another prominent Friday 13th, he would come back like as an undead revenant, basically like a prototype version of Jason, and he just goes around like killing the knights that were responsible for the deaths of him and his brethren. And the
Some
twist
redemption. I seen that's the empathy
that
part is like you feel for that person because they just want vengeance or they want to make things right. They want justice, you know?
Well, I mean, you gotta be empathetic for like Jason Voorhees in general, because you know his mom got killed and he drowned as a little kid.
Yeah. I mean, there's I think there's more than that. Like he was disabled and all these other things and just not
Yeah.
being monitored properly. But that's the beauty of stuff in even life where sometimes all of these elements have to kind of be in alignment for certain things to happen. So with us going so fast, it's very hard for us to kind of lock things in. But like you said, with the networking is when you find the right people and they're really good to you, you kind of find your tribe. And that's what I've noticed is those are the guys that are the pushers. But speaking of pushers and pushing tickets, can you tell me a little bit about it's called The Ticket? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I should have figured that once my ticket was a winner, people would be out for my blood. I didn't hear the guy sneak up on me, but I sure as shit felt the punch to the back of my head. The first thing I noticed was
All right, man. Give me the ticket.
my hands weren't tied. What ticket? What are you talking
The
about?
winning lottery ticket. The one you bought. I know you have it.
Who doesn't tie their hostages' hands? That ticket? You know I didn't win much off of that, right?
I don't care. It's still a winning ticket and I want it.
Dude, I only won $4.
I know that's not true. Now give me the fucking ticket.
Okay, fine. It's kind of worthless, but I'll give it to you. But first I gotta ask you, like, whenever you threaten somebody, do you always turn the safety off on your gun?
Don't screw with me. I know you got the ticket.
No, really, like, look at the gun. It's got the safety turned off. It's kind of funny, man. The kid was young, inexperienced. It made it easier for me to take his gun and turn it on him.
No, look. Look, I was just kidding, all right? All right, it's just a joke.
I almost felt bad for putting 3 bullets in him. Fuck. I drove until there was no more gas, and then I got out and ran. This fucking ticket has been nothing but trouble for me. And here's the bitch of it all. I really did only win $4. Ironically, This was actually one of the first short films that I had done, like very much before, like all of this, before I even like worked with Adriana on her stuff.
So this is your
So,
really early days.
oh yeah, this was the one that like was like very much based on Sin City, and the music that I used was very much inspired by the Sin City soundtrack. But this one was basically just something that I wanted to take something comedic and basically play it serious. And that's a lot of things that I want to do because like the plot of the short film is like uh the character who I play as, who again going back to the whole like first person perspective, like I'm shooting it off of my iPhone and like jury rigging a headset to basically just be on my forehead showing the other guy.
I
Um
mean, you do what you got to do, and that's it. I mean, if that's
yeah,
what works, that's what works.
yeah, oh yeah. But basically I'm tied up uh and put in a car, and the guy who kidnapped me wants my lottery ticket. And well, it's a twist at the very end of the short, but like I only won $2 on it. And the funniest part was the inspiration for that is because uh about a few weeks prior, like I'd say every other week or so, like I'd go and get a lottery ticket over at my local gas station, and I would either like not win anything at all, or I would only get $2, which meant that like I wouldn't even earn anything back. So that's
It's like you broke even.
basically, yeah, like that's but that was basically my inspiration for that, like, oh well, like yeah, you go to the gas station and you try to cash in your lottery ticket, and even if it like has that little ding of like, oh, you're a winner, it still gives you like just two measly dollars.
It's like,
So
here's two George Washingtons, and I'll walk away or give me more.
yeah. So what if somebody caught wind of like the whole you're a winner thing, but they didn't realize you only got like $2 out of it.
Right,
So
right. Speaking of $2, I know that some people would say this type of footage would be $2 nowadays, especially the new generations, because they wouldn't really know what they have in their hand. But
right.
can you tell me a little bit about Super 8? What is going on with the your Super 8 footage?
if anything, that was sorry, if you're referring to like the little short that I made, that was mostly just a bunch of footage that I threw together that I had acquired online, and I did a little bit of color correction and tweaking, but other than that, it's basically just 3 straight minutes of just filming my cat, or like filming that same forest that I did the Jason project in, or like my old place that I was living in, because this is my new place, which lucky for me, it includes that basement that I filmed both the Saw and the
Nice.
RE7 concept footage from. But yeah, like I still have the Super 8 camera, thankfully. I got a new cartridge in there now.
Nice.
And I also acquired another camera with a different set of footage, which this is actually a pretty funny story. So the camera itself I got from this like shop down on Main Street, and the footage itself I acquired like months prior to the camera. So I'm a little bit shocked that it actually not only fits inside the camera but also runs. Like I really lucked out with that, because when I originally got the footage, like I wasn't even planning on getting another camera. So thankfully it works. I learned how to actually like manually set up the film inside the camera, so that was cool. It's kind of and, and
That's nice.
this
Because
might
the way
not
I was
be.
kind of looking at it was, the new generations would be like, what do you have here? This is garbage, when I was talking about the $2 ticket. Um, so I guess the question is first and foremost, I will let you know that I do too like Resident Evil. It's one of my favorite franchise. I love the strategy behind it. I love the gore, the horror, everything having to work together. It's kind of like those, what I mean? It's like those puzzles, like I said, with those connections and networking.
Right, yeah.
Um, is there anything else that you would like to kind of let our viewers know about why you got into filmmaking at all?
I mean, I'm sorry, that's a loaded question for me. So at the
Well, I
time,
mean, if there's multiple reasons, you're more than welcome to elaborate.
Well, there's a few. I mean, like the most obvious is because like, well, I mean, I love films, and I do kind of like making something that I can actually say is mine, in a way. Um, one of the deeper reasons would be that way back in 2019, I tried out for this one job like at the start of the year, and it didn't work out. So for a while, I actually like didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, and I was basically just like floating, if that makes sense. Like just
Yeah, you kind
luckily,
of find your thing. You kind of go with the flow for a little bit to find your rhythm in life. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah. So like in a sense, like it took a few months, but I did figure out like what I wanted to do, and well, what I'd like to do is filmmaking because I enjoy watching movies, so I might as well make it.
Most definitely. I think that's not only a noble thing because a lot of people, including myself, I've always had the passion for filmmaking and I've dabbled here and there, of course. I also just had my film at Snake Alley Film Festival, which was awesome too. I'm surprised we didn't run into each other, by the way, but that's kind of like I was saying, people get busy and sometimes you do click and the time just is perfect. Um, with you stating that, you growing up and enjoying film, I guess, was there anybody in your life that really kind of pushed you, said, "Hey, I support you in doing this"?
My family, definitely. Um, I do remember one time I was speaking to one of my I was speaking to one of my grandparents about about like Star Wars and like superheroes and all that cool stuff. This was way before I fell in love with like horror movies and Resident Evil 7. But she did tell me that like someday like I should make a movie with like basically all of those different characters. Like essentially like you know when you're a kid and like you're playing with like your action figures with like Darth Vader and like you have Iron Man come in and blast him, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of
Essentially making
Ready Player One. You remember that scene
yeah,
where
yeah,
everybody comes in and they're all kind of cross-universe, multi-universe? Yeah, that's what it reminds me of
I
for sure.
do, yeah, yeah. Essentially like making a film based on that, which I mean I'm I mean as I've grown up, like I don't exactly have plans on making a film like that in the near future, but I do still appreciate the sentiment that that my grandmother was the one who originally suggested, like way back when I was like 7 or 8, that like I should start doing movies.
That's really good that you had that type of influence in your life to not
Yeah.
only reinforce what your beliefs were, but to be honest with you too, to get away from the sappy stuff, because I'm going through therapy, so I'm getting emotional and stuff. That's awesome that you're having that with, or that you had that with your grandma, but you should still make those little films because the way I look at it is it's no different than the Super 8 footage you were talking about. You know what I mean? One
Mhm.
day you're gonna look back on that and be like, "Oh, I remember I was just this young cat messing around with this footage, and I just happened to come across the perfect timing, and everything kind of aligned right." If the chick were,
Right,
if there's
yeah.
somebody that was really into horoscope, they'd be like, "Oh, the planets were aligned, and Uranus was in retrograde," whatever. Um, but you'll look back on those things and being like, and you'll be like really grateful that you still have those things. So maybe that's a nod that you can do to yourself and your grandmother. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
create that little film for you and your future family or whoever you have in your life now that would possibly share it with you. That would probably mean a lot to them.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, no problem.
So I do have so I guess now that you mention it, I do have one project that I have been working on, feature film script. Um, sorry, the script for a feature film has been written out, and in a sense, it does sort of take an idea of what I was talking about, but like not fully. It's about like two detectives who are trying to solve this mystery of like a bunch of different serial killers that are like attacking people at the same time. It's not the same concept, but it is basically just bring in a bunch of characters and like putting them in like the same scenario.
Gotcha. So what I hear you saying is it'd be like, and these are just examples, but everybody from like Richard Ramirez to John Wayne Gacy all in one area, and
Yeah,
then all
yeah,
these two detectives trying to figure out who did
yep.
what, how they, okay.
And
That that would
Christopher,
be
of
that
course,
would be
the retake.
exciting to watch.
Yeah,
Definitely be on board for that.
yeah. I even got a short teaser if you'd like to see it.
Most definitely. Why don't you go ahead and send that to me? And then additionally, after we're done, maybe you can allow that for some of your viewers that would
Yeah,
like
of
to see.
course.
I know, because if I'm as excited about it, I'm sure the people who are viewing this will most likely want to see that too.
Oh yeah, I definitely would.
An anonymous tip called the station. Said there was a murder.
And I think we just found it. Hang on. Oh, fuck.
Alright, do what you do so we can get the heck out of here. You alright, partner? Did you get a good look at him?
Oh, some guy in a mask.
Is there anything else that you kind of want to let your viewers know, like words of wisdom or words of like encouragement? What would you say to new and upcoming filmmakers?
Um, Honestly, I'd say like don't give up. If you have to like do it all yourself, like do it. Because I mean, look at me. A lot of my stuff for the longest time, it was literally just me. And there are some personal reasons for that, but like eventually I did like branch out and start working with other people. But yeah, like take your time on it, like, and if you have a passion for it, like definitely follow it.